There are two kinds of betrayal in life, the kind you expect, and the kind that leaves you breathless. Mine came with a smile, a chai latte, and my best friend saying, "This place feels like home. I'm so proud of you, Claire." That was for months before she opened her own cafe across the street from mine, with the same lavender syrup I had spent 6 weeks perfecting, the same hand-drawn chalkboard menu I had spent nights crafting, and the same playlist humming through her speakers. She called it inspired, I called it theft. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me start with how we got here, how Madison Lee became not just my business partner, but my sister in all but blood, and how she shattered everything we built together with the turn of a key and a lie wrapped in lipstick. I met Madison in college. We were the quiet girls in a sea of loud ambition, me with my sketchbooks, she with her culinary journals and mason jars full of ideas. We clicked fast. Study sessions turned into late-night dorm talks, which turned into dreams drawn in ink and caffeine. By senior year, we knew one thing for sure. One day, we're gonna open a place that feels like us. Warm, feminine, independent, a haven. 10 years later, that dream became fern and bloom. It was my baby. I had scraped every dollar, sold my car, moved back into my mom's basement just to launch it. Madison was always around, not officially on the payroll, but present. She helped me test recipes, gave feedback on interiors, sat through supplier meetings, smiled through the stress when people asked if we were co-owners. She'd laugh and say, "Oh no, Claire's the boss. I'm just her biggest fan." And I believed her. I believed her when she said she didn't want to run her own place. I believed her when she said, "I'd rather support you than deal with all that chaos myself." I believed her when she said, "This is our dream even if your name is on the lease." The first time I noticed something off was small. She came in with a new menu idea, an Earl Grey lavender scone. I blinked. "Didn't we test that 2 months ago and decide it didn't hold moisture?" She shrugged. "I tweaked it, just thought we could revisit." I said no, but she seemed irritated. Next came the supplier's switch suggestion. I found someone cheaper for the ceramic mugs, she said one afternoon. I looked up from inventory. "We use a local potter. That's part of our whole brand, Madison." She smiled. "Too sweet, just trying to help you save." She started missing coffee deliveries, showed up late, took photos, lots of photos of the kitchen, the decor, even my recipe cards. I chalked it up to her mood swings. We've both been exhausted. What I didn't know was that while I was running payroll and negotiating with suppliers, Madison was registering a business license, designing a logo, signing a lease for the space directly across the street. She didn't even bother to name it differently, Bloom and Fern. My jaw dropped when I first saw the banner being hung. I stood on the sidewalk, keys in hand, as the man hammered the sign in, and my Madison stood under it with a clipboard and a grin. I waited for her to see me. She didn't flinch. Just waved like we were still girls in a dorm room, dreaming aloud, like she hadn't just lit a match to my life's work. I didn't sleep that night. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling fan, each blade slicing through the silence like it was mocking me. Across the street, Bloom and Fern was getting ready to open. Same soft gold lighting, same pastel furniture, even the community corner idea where we displayed local artists and their work. That was mine. Madison had told me once, "That's what sets you apart. It feels like more than a cafe now." She had recreated every detail down to the mason jar tips labeled Dream Fuel. The betrayal wasn't just that she opened a shop. It was that she watched me build mine, layer by layer, and copied it brick by emotional brick. The worst part? Our regulars started noticing. "Hey, Claire, did you see the new place? It looks kinda like yours." Kinda? I wanted to scream. "It's a carbon copy." But I didn't. I smiled, said something polite, bit my cheek so hard it bled, because if I snapped, I'd be the bitter one, the dramatic one, the overreacting female founder. I told myself, focus on your store, protect your peace, but peace doesn't last when the person who betrayed you is sipping coffee across the street from your window. I decided to confront her. The day before her grand opening, I crossed the street, heart pounding in my ears. Madison was arranging dried flowers in a vase, peonies, my favorite. "Hey," I said, forcing my voice steady. She turned, as if I was just another customer. "Oh, Claire, what a surprise." "A surprise," I said. "You opened a store identical to mine across the street, and that's a surprise." She blinked. Slow and deliberate. "Claire, it's not identical. I mean, sure, some things overlap. We have similar tastes, but there's room for everyone, room for everyone." That phrase hit me like ice down my spine. "Did you think I wouldn't notice?" I asked, voice tight. She sighed, actually sighed like I was being exhausting. "I just thought we always talked about creating something together, and when I realized I wanted to do it too, I didn't want to ask for permission. You don't own lavender scones and flower walls." I stared at her. That's when I knew. It wasn't a mistake. It wasn't confusion. It was entitlement. She believed she had a right to my vision because we were friends. Because she had been there, because she thought proximity gave her ownership. I walked out. I didn't yell, didn't cry. But I felt something in me shift. This wasn't just business betrayal. It was emotional. Theft. She'd taken my trust, my mentorship, my sisterhood, packaged it into an aesthetic, and sold it back to the neighborhood like it was hers. Opening day came. I watched from my cafe window as a line formed across the street. Her ribbon cutting made the local newspaper. She smiled wide. Press ready. There was even a quote. It's always been a dream of mine to bring beauty and calm into people's daily coffee rituals. I read that line 10 times. Not once did she mention me. Not once did she acknowledge the woman whose dream she plagiarized. In the weeks that followed, business slowed. My regular split between the two cafes. Some were polite, pretending not to see the tension. Others switched loyalties entirely, drawn to the buzz of a new spot. It wasn't just the money. It was the ache. To stand inside something you bled for, only to watch someone else profit off its mirror image.